Now, if you have access to a good hip thrust machine, like this Nautilus glute drive, I think you can solve a few of those issues. The belt is much more comfy than a barbell. You also don't need to set anything up, and because the machine is very stable, you won't need to use any balance and should be able to focus on engaging your glutes better. I personally do these every single week, and I think they belong in high A tier, and I'm actually gonna pick them as my #1 option for the middle aspect of the glutes. Their only downside, as I see it, is the lack of a really deep stretch, but we'll pick that up with some other exercises. Another really good option is the single leg dumbbell hip thrust. These will hit the entire glutes, but unlike the other options, may shift some emphasis to the upper glutes because the glute medius and minimus will need to stabilize for balance. You can also prevent left to right muscle imbalances by focusing on each glute individually, and I don't like to go heavy here. Just stick to 12 to 15 reps and really focus on controlling the movement. They're going in A tier as well. The glute bridge is really just a hip thrust, but with less range of motion. They're a bit easier to set up because you don't need a bench, and they're great for beginners because they require less stabilization. Some people also say they can isolate their glutes more with these by taking some of the quads out, but I still prefer the hip thrust because it has more range of motion. Low B tier. Frog pumps are also kind of like a hip thrust, except you externally rotate your hips and clamp your feet together. This will shift some emphasis to the upper glutes since abducting your hips will engage the glute medius more. I actually don't hate these as a high rep finisher, but they're hard to load, which forces you to use really high reps, and they don't stretch the glutes very well. I'm putting them in high